Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. Sorry for a couple of days without the normal episodes, but I had a minor medical event, and then, believe me, I was thinking about the game while debating whether it was serious enough to warrant me having to pay to go to the doctor, which is a thing that I may or may not be able to afford. What I'm saying is, this game is a true story. America. So we've completed Act 3, and we will soon head to Act 4, but before we do, we must of course spend some time here and there, along the Echo. And who knows what that means. Okay, well, we have somebody's phone number on a slip of... I can't pan the screen or anything, so I guess all that there is for us to do is dial the thing. Gotta pick up the handset first, obviously. Okay, sort of a surgeon simulator vibe here, a little bit. I guess we'll just put this down. Okay, no. Right to our ear, in fact. I am not familiar with the location of the 270 area code. I would assume, Kentucky.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
Okay, obviously we want information about the organization, but I'm going to press 5 first because I'm very curious what it will say.
So, you don't remember dialing this number. You just sort of woke up with the phone pressed to your ear, ringing on the other end. Or maybe you thought you dialed a different number, but your digits betrayed you. Or there's a faulty connection somewhere out there in that spider web lattice of phone cords that covers all of creation. It must be kind of a nice feeling, really. It's like you and I just bumped into each other in the street or a little cafe. Say, next time you meet a stranger, call us back at extension 7864 and hand them the phone. We'd love to get to know them. Welcome home. For
The end of that had a...
along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's floor...
We're going to hit 3 here. The ending of that little thing he did there had a sort of a menacing quality to it, huh?
Press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
So I talked over it a little bit, in case you didn't hear. The option 1 there was a catalog
of subterranean bird song, press
yeah, that.
1. Now I'll play you several recordings of Echo River birdsong. When you hear a song you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop.
I wonder if this stuff was captured by Lula and Donald and Joseph.
That's just a pigeon. I believe that's a painted avocet. If you catch him, you can make a nice pigment from his feathers. The peat-breathed riverbill. Keep an eye on that one. They make their nests out of stolen jewelry. The lonesome teal. Ugly, spiteful little thing. That's the American grid piper. Huh? I thought they were extinct. The rock sparrow. Don't feed him. He'll come back with friends. You've got a gray-beaked grouse there. Not my favorite bird. That's a mourning hummingbird, so named because they bury their dead. That's just a pigeon. I believe that's a painted avocet.
Okay, we are just looping.
If you catch him, you can make a nice pigment from his feathers.
Wait, was 5 the stop button?
For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
So, there was an option somewhere for us to dial an extension, right? And we did receive an extension. I've already forgotten. It takes no time at all for me to forget stuff here. Let's...
Lucky you. Does it sound like this?
This whole thing has a sort of a Welcome to Night Vale-iness about it. So he asked, does it sound like this? And he didn't tell us what the buttons are to respond in the negative or affirmative, But I imagine at some point he's going to come back and do that, and we are definitely going to say no. This is not the organ music I was hearing.
Press 1 if that's the music you're hearing. Otherwise, press 2. It's nice though, isn't it? Let's listen to it again.
No, we don't have to do that. How do I? Please let me out. Please let me out of the phone. You know, that's pretty funny, though. So, it is actually going to make us sit here and... Listen, I'm impressed by it, though. I'm impressed by the gall of it. The chutzpah. Very few video games have it in them, have the sheer temerity to make you sit through even one solo organ composition. And this game, we're not even finished with this yet, and it has made us sit through two, one of them twice. You have to admire the developer's reach. I'm gonna hang up the... Can I hang up the phone? Aha! Got him. Bob and Emily. Bob and Emily were two of the people that were around the table in the basement of Equus Oils, right? Hold on. No, I'm not ready to go yet. I want to dial the number again, but not do the organ thing. Wait.
The number you have dialed is not real.
2? 2 is not real? Used to be you could get the operator sometimes by doing that. I don't know if there's this particular cadence you're supposed to do it in. Hold on. I'm just going to hit O. Zero. I was just going to hit 0. Let's see if we can get the operator.
Operator services are currently suspended, pending automation. The Echo River Central Exchange is being phased out and replaced with the new consolidated auxiliary switch number 30. This is a recording. You may hang up at any time or stay on the line for more information.
Well, I do like information.
Service formally negotiated by Loretta will now be reflected on your electric bill. If you are having difficulty remembering the number you wish to dial, check your pockets for a scrap of paper. You may have written it down. The long-distance fee structure has been reconfigured as of September. When referring to the August fee matrix, please make the following adjustments. Zone 7 is now combined with Zone 3. There is no longer a Zone 6. All entries in Column A should be erased. To ensure Column A is fully erased, tear it off the page. Column C should be reversed vertically, which makes rows 3 through 7 redundant. Rows 3 through 7 may also be torn off. Please fold the paper so that you are not distracted by the holes. Due to increased flooding, all telephone calls to numbers beginning with a 2 or lower are now being routed to higher ground. We apologize for the inconvenience. Time and temperature services on this exchange have been paused due to rusted gears which have stopped the central clock at 5:17 p.m. Services will resume at 5:18 p.m.
Yeah, I guess so.
If your telephone is too loud, try holding it away from your ear.
Wish I could.
Due to long-distance zone drift, outgoing calls made from Lake Letha are now being billed at twice the rate of incoming calls. Please remember this detail when making calls to and from this location to avoid unpleasant surprises. It is easy to check your telephone for crickets. First, tap gently a few times on the switch hook. Then simply place the receiver to your ear and listen carefully for a response. If you do not hear a chirp, you do not have crickets. It is forbidden to power any unapproved electronic devices from your telephone line. This includes electronic artworks. To reiterate, there is no exception to this rule for art. Operator services are currently suspended pending
Okay. She said, hit the switch hook a couple of times, check for crickets. I don't know if the part that I'm depressing now is not... I think the switch hook just refers to the actual, like, the part the phone receiver lays in. I'm just gonna, like, tap on it a little bit. I did that while she was talking. But, you know, maybe we wouldn't have heard the crickets over her. Maybe it does refer to the push-downy bits. I'm a highly technical person, obviously. You know, these push-downy bits. It's a technical... That's the industry term for them. Okay, good news, y'all. I don't think we have crickets in our phone. Alright, I'm gonna try dialing his number again.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
I don't want to hang up. I just wanted to put it further from my ear in case the organ song started playing again. It looks like it doesn't really let you do that. Oh, we can switch it to this side.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you haven't. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4.
Or put down the snake.
Options again, press 0. So, you're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're holding the snake, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 0.
I like the idea that you would be involved in an exchange. You just gave a guy something and he gave you back a snake. And then you're like, hey, hold on a second, I gotta make a phone call.
Take another look at your snake. Not a bad snake, is it? Yeah, it's really nice. You got
That's alright.
Can you bear to see it go? What's the other party bringing to this here swap? Press 1 if you still plan to go through with the trade. Press 2 if you're having second thoughts. Yeah, well, you're probably right. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now. What if all of this is just a reflection of a reflection? Now hold the silence. else she processes that metaphysical curveball. Okay, what's Delia up to now? If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. And if she's just kind of limp, press 3.
I think she's sort of staring off into the middle distance, like struck by the question. By the way, our snake's name is Tabitha.
Well, your snake may be asleep. It happens. You've got to wake her up gently now. Whisper her something pleasant. Tell her why she wants to wake up. I mean, really convince her. I'll wait. All right, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended, press 3.
That's probably a bad sign, right? We're gonna do this one.
Okay, I want you to tense your arm muscles and then relax them, one by one. Take slow, shallow breaths. Tense, relax, tense, relax. Try to focus all your thoughts on that blood coursing through your arm veins. Forget Delia is even there, just you and your blood. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now, so you can move on. So, put that snake in some grass or something. Let Delia be free, like a snake should. And go ahead and wash your hands if you care to. I would. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. So, you're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? If you're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake, take another look at your snake. Not a bad snake, is it? Yeah, it's really nice. You got a good one. Can you bear to see it go? What's the other party bringing to this here swap? Press 1 if you still plan to go through with the trade. Yeah, well, you're probably right. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm going to go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration.
I don't think this guy cares about whether or not we're doing a swap.
Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now.
Alright, hold on. We're going back to the menu. Of course I'm not ready to go. I need to talk to a man about a snake. On the phone. I've forgotten the number already. I have to move this to my other ear. Oh.
The number you have...
Alright, you. You can dial this number approximately 1/2 of the time. As we all know, 2 is only a real number, approximately half of the time.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information, now is the time to dial an extension.
I only think I remember. Hold on, we're gonna try it.
Hello, stranger. What's the first thing you remember? When you're finished remembering, press the 0 button.
Okay, well,
Hello,
I've got something.
stranger.
Whoa.
What's the first thing? Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, or a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options, the wet, rocky contours of the Echo River make for sometimes baffling reverberations that turn mundane sounds into weird, rattling symphonies. Like that. It can be a challenge to pick through the clamor and recognize even something as simple as water dropping in a metal bucket, especially in the dark. Here are some examples. When you hear a sound you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop. And that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away. That was someone burning a phone book.
I think that's digging, maybe?
That was someone tearing up an electric bill. That was a phone ringing underwater.
Thought it was a Zoob tube. That's a motorcycle.
That was a motorboat's propeller failing.
I was very close.
That was dirt being thrown on the lid of a coffin. And that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away.
I was told that I could...
For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark.
Is 4 back to the menu here?
If you are hearing
There we go.
welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options, many find learning the language of bats to be intimidating, but it's really pretty straightforward. The most difficult part is getting your ultrasonic pronunciation right. See, bats have enormous, complex ears. For us, it's more of a struggle. Here, let's try some useful phrases. Repeat after me so you can practice your pronunciation. Here's how you say, I don't know where I am. Okay, here's how you could ask, haven't we met before? Great. And here's how you say, sorry, I must have left it in the boat. Now, a very useful phrase. It's a shame we didn't record that. Every conversation has to end. So here's how to say, I will write that down in case I forget it later. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats. The Echo River is best known for its plentiful waters, not their volume, but their diversity. There's surface water, deep water, big water, and small water. Water that moves quickly. Slower water. Water in a cup. There's the water you know about, the water you don't know about, and the water you only assume exists due to indirect evidence, like a rumbling sound behind the rock. Cool water, but also warm, and even warmer. Water that gets things clean. Water that only makes things dirtier. Water's both soft and hard. Water in living bodies. If you come across any other kind of water, be very careful. Call us back and dial extension 0464 just to be safe. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. If you stop your boat somewhere cool, you may find yourself swarmed by insects. You may swat at them or cover your face, thinking they're all trying to bite you or buzz in your ear. But these insects are more interested in each other than they are in you. In fact, they've already forgotten you. They're back to chasing each other, breeding, competing over resources. Their minds are so shallow that while you've been standing there with your hands raised to your face, they've begun to think of you as part of the landscape, a funny-looking rock. This is what they sound like.
This is a really long recording of bugs. Hold on, my shoulder's getting tired. Just put it over here. There we go. I wonder if this has an end, or if it's just going to keep making bug noises at us until I hang up. I sort of want to hear if he has anything else to say. right. I'm just gonna. We're gonna try that again. Hold on, Bob. Just a minute. I'm gonna dial the 2 and it's gonna tell me that's not a real number.
The number you have dialed is not real.
Okay, everything's fine. I forgot the number again. But who could possibly remember 10 digits? It's impossible. It's outside of human capability. Did you guys see the weird thing the phone cord was doing? It was sort of like swelling up and then suddenly snapping back to size. That was weird. I mean, the whole thing was weird. You ever have just like a moment of clarity about how strange your life is? Because I definitely had one of those there as that was playing. Alright. We want to dial an extension. I have to wait for him to say it.
Public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. Now is the time
the wrong button.
to dial an extension. Found some weird water, huh? All right. We'd better catalog it. Hold the phone up to it for a bit, and we'll record it for later analysis. Press 0 when you're done.
It's phone water. You hear that? That's pretty weird. Listen to all that. Listen to all that phone water.
Welcome home. For
I'm helping.
historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer.
Boy, if I had a nickel.
Driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options again, press 0.
I mean, listen, a lot of this sounds interesting, but we can't not start with the Iron Pariah.
The Iron Pariah is just what she's called along the Echo River. Of course, she once had another name, but it's been scratched away, maybe out of shame? Or maybe she took a bend too sharply and left her true name on a rock. So, what else? We know she was in the war, but neither side would claim her. We don't know if anyone's aboard. She drifts along the water and commands a wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3. There is a town which has its own roads, but which no other roads connect to. They send and receive mail. there is a school, and so on. But what I want to tell you about now is the horses. There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't stay in stalls. They sleep outside. They walk through the town, on the streets, or on the sidewalks, and the people of the town think of them as elegant, wordless neighbors. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, there is a silo so tall and strange that it can take years for an echoing word to bounce from bottom to top and then bottom again. If you wait patiently, you may overhear the conversations of earlier visitors. I once had an argument there with a dear friend, but I forget what it was about, and we haven't spoken since. Maybe I'll go find out someday. For a diver's guide to underwater islands. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town, I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget it, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. For a list of the places where people can't sleep, press 3. People can't sleep in the wet grass or on the bridges of New Königsberg. They can't sleep anywhere near Lake Lethe because it's too large. Nobody can sleep with their toes in the river because it's too cold. People can't sleep where I sleep because I'm all knees and elbows, and anyway, there isn't enough room for both of us. I'm not sure if anyone can sleep on the deck of the Mucky Mammoth, but I'm certain they can't sleep on the trash barge because of the smell. If you have anything to add, please call us back with extension 7360. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For the cluttered place, press 1. There is a place always cluttered by debris floating along the water. Otherwise, it's unremarkable. In fact, the only way to find it is to notice that there happens to be more trash there than anywhere else around. I wonder why that is. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. There is a place that regularly floods. I first saw this place years ago when an acquaintance of mine, an artist, built an installation there. The work was very complicated. All of her artwork is. I remember it was made from huge piles of recycled newspapers. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to complete it before the flood came and wiped it out. The next time I passed by this place, it was full of young men and women on bicycles. They'd built a track weaving through the soggy ruins of my acquaintances' flooded artwork. The rising water level quickly made it too dangerous to ride in anymore, and many bicycles were crashed and abandoned. The last time I saw the place, it had been repurposed to store handmade pottery earmarked for sale out of state. By the time I arrived, there was just a pile of ceramic fragments dashed by floodwaters against rusting bicycles and gray pulp. I've heard recently that this place has been reclaimed again. Surely this time, things will be different. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Huh.
For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the iron pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. For food, press 1. For drink, press 2. To return to the main menu, the water is fine, but more adventurous tourists will surely be looking for stronger stuff. Move quickly along past any strangers with cheap bourbon flasks. You can get that hard times rot gut anywhere. If you're traveling by boat, you'll want the traditional seafarer's liquor. As it happens, there's a watering hole called the Rum Colony, wholly devoted to the stuff. You know, mixed with sugar and bright colors. I've heard it's excellent, but I never drink the stuff. I take my spirits clear. For a diver's guide to underwater. For food, press. If you plan your journey along the Echo to be a slow and thoughtful one, you will surely want to eat. It's true, and even advanced preparation can still fail you. Maybe the food you've packed will fall in the water and be spoiled, or it could be stolen by a bat. Well, the water sustains all travelers. Catch it yourself in the river, or have something prepared for you at this place out on the lake.
The Rum Colony.
The restaurant is called,
It's
out
called
on Lake Letha. It has to be out there where the water is deepest. If you go early in the morning, you might see the diver bring in his nightly haul. Weird creatures from weird depths, fish, crabs, jellies, things we don't have proper names for at this elevation. Sam and Ida's, that's the name of it. Sam dives, Ida cooks. Unique fare and uncommon conversation, to say nothing of the decor. If you do stop by, tell them I said hello, and that they're always in my thoughts and prayers. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the angle of its surface over time. Some sailors blame corked rocks. Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. The Red Island, Fancy Island, Tearless Rock, Island of 350 and 440 hertz, Baucus Keys, Angled Island, Bear Island, the Doubtful Island. This list is current as of now. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press.
I would like very much to go to Fancy
For
Island.
places, press. For a diver's guide to
Oops, no, I want to go
underwater
back to the...
islands,
How do I...
press.
Hold on. Is it 9?
For forgotten places, press 2.
I don't remember how to get back out of the menu.
Places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options...
That's pretty logical. I could have probably figured that out.
For historical sites, for different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For
Hold on. I screwed up. I was trying to get to the thing where you can dial an extension. We got another extension there. Where to? No, wait, I'm not... I feel kind of overwhelmed now, you know? There's too many options. I know. I just want to sit somewhere and draw or something. Well, you can sit here and draw while I'm talking on the phone. They did mention a weird silo. I heard there's this one place with a lot of garbage. Could be pretty cool. I thought that was the most affecting thing that we heard. There's something about the phrase... I don't even think it was really his delivery, but there's something about almost any short story that ends with the phrase, maybe this time things will be different, that causes a powerful pang in my heart. Yeah, I heard there's this one place with a lot of garbage. That could be pretty cool. Oh, that does sound pretty cool. I love garbage. Okay, cool. Ready to go? No, absolutely not. Hold on, one more time. Alright, I'm gonna get a dial tone. There we go. The number 2 is only real when there is a dial tone. Keep that in mind the next time you're in math class.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
We're going to listen to the options, because I'm afraid that I might have pressed the wrong button, because I've already forgotten which button does what.
For a menu of our
dial a thing.
resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more,
Because it's 9. Because 9 is the...
to dial an extension.
I am so good at forgetting things. If there was an Olympic event, I would get a gold medal. And then I'd look at my gold medal later and say, what the hell, where'd this come from? Why do I have this?
Alright then. Tell us why you can't sleep. When you're finished, press the 0 button.
Oh, I thought they just wanted me to tell them a place where people couldn't sleep. I was gonna say a big fire. It's hard to sleep in a big fire.
Welcome home.
Well, okay then.
Historical sites along the Echo River. Press
Did we listen to everything? I think we got everything, right?
Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the...
You know, actually, I don't think there were any choices to make there. I think we heard everything. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go check out some garbage. I'm very curious whether this time things will be different. What a way to spend an hour, huh? Something about this is really, really working. I was talking about this on Twitter a little bit. This game is like all the way in my head. I find that I'm thinking about it like, constantly. And I really think that the way I'm playing it has a lot to do with that. Because let me tell you something. If I was not doing this for YouTube, I would have shot through this thing in potentially one sitting. But because I'm doing it this way, I'm playing a little bit and then having to stop and think about it and then playing a little bit more. And it's really sinking in a way that I know is very different from what it would be if I just shot straight through it. And I think for maybe one of the first times, that has really enhanced my enjoyment. I've talked a couple of times about how, like, Let's Play format is kind of a crummy way to play a lot of kinds of games. Like, in strategy games, I'm always forgetting what I'm doing. But this has really been an experience. If this is giving you, as it is to me, if this is giving you some weird, indescribable feelings, I encourage you to defy that and attempt to describe them in the comments below. I'm really curious what everybody's thinking. The people who have stuck around this far, what everybody's thinking about this so far as an experience. Because it's a strange thing to play, and it's even a stranger thing to do a Let's Play of. But I think that's maybe a pretty good place for us to stop for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're still here, thanks for coming on this journey with me. Because it's a real thing, huh? Come back next time, maybe tomorrow, maybe later today, sometime soon, for Act 4, and we'll see you then.